Hello, my name is Tim Baker. I teach American history and political science at Lafayette High School. And I'm making this video for my students, but if it happens to be useful for someone else, I am going to put this on YouTube and people might share it. And so use this if you can to your advantage of how to approach the New York State United States History and Government Regents exam step by step. So I'm going to go step by step through a practice exam giving my advice on how to best perform. So first of all, general advice. After finishing the multiple choice section, which should be your top priority, you should skip to the Part 3 civic literacy essay before completing either of the short essays. The reason for that is, in the end, when your grade is decided, there is a conversion chart in which one axis is your multiple choice and the short answer questions on the civic literacy essay, and on the other axis you're going to have the total essay score. So you're going to have 3 essays total, 2 short, 1 civic literacy, and you're going to have multiple choice, and the civic literacy will also have short answer questions that go along with the documents before you write the essay. It is only the civic literacy essay that appears on both sides of this conversion chart, so therefore it's having an impact in both places. So after completing the multiple choice first, you should skip to the Part 3 civic literacy essay. That way, if heaven forbid you end up running short of time, you're not missing the last section, the civic literacy essay, that actually impacts you on both sides of the scale. So I would do multiple choice, then the civic literacy essay. My second tip, something that my Lafayette students are very familiar with, but if anybody else is seeing this, you may want to consider this strategy for analyzing documents in all sections of the test. It doesn't matter if you're doing a multiple choice question or if you're analyzing for an essay. You want to look at the source first. We call this process SQUD, S-Q-D. Look at the source first. What does that tell you? Then look at the question. What is being asked of you? The last thing that you're going to do is actually read the document. This will point out a lot of information to you that may help you answer the question without needing to necessarily read the nitty-gritty details of the document. Maybe something's going to stand out to you because of what you read in the source information. This SQUD process is extremely, extremely helpful, so I strongly suggest using it. My third tip is to remember to follow the bullet points on all 3 essays. The short essay on relationships is going to be pointing out to you via the documents some form of a relationship. It might be cause and effect, it might be similarity difference, it might be turning point. Then the short essay on reliability. First of all, it wants to know about document 2. It doesn't mean that you can't talk about document 1, but what it really wants to know is document 2 a reliable source of evidence due to factors like the audience it's addressing, the purpose of the document, any bias in the document, and the point of view of the document. And then lastly, the civic literacy essay. You want to explain efforts to address a constitutional or civic issue. Then you also want to discuss the impact of those efforts on the U.S. and or American society. As I go through this practice test, I'm going to point out to you how these bullet points actually shape the structure and content of your essays. So pay attention to these bullet points. You're also going to notice on all 3 of these, historical context, historical circumstances, might as well say historical context again. And what context, contextualization means what is going on at the time. That is where you may be able to bring in some outside information that is relevant to the topic that you're writing about. And my last tip is very simple. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. It's a joke, but it also means don't get fancy. Don't use something in an essay on the exam that you were not 100% confident is both factually true and relevant. I learned this the hard way taking an AP exam in high school. I included a piece of information that was factually true, but it wasn't all that relevant to what the essay topic was, and it actually lost me credit on that exam. So those are my general tips for the exam. Now I want to go through the exam itself and talk you through each thing, question by question, essay by essay.